Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Of the closing doors, please.
It's alive!
Transfer is available.
The next and last stop is...
You're tuning into the SubwayCreatures. You're tuning into the Subway.
Welcome, another episode of Subway Creatures podcast. We're at episode 5 already. I'm your host, Rick McGuire, sitting alongside Freddie B. TV and Kim Congdon. How you guys doing? And we got him again. He's just going to do this every episode until.
Turn the beat up in my headphones.
Why don't you surprise us one episode and actually
write a fucking song?
Turn the
Write
beat up
the
in my
damn
headphones.
rap. We're waiting for it every week.
Listen, I'll tell you, this is working against you because the anticipation's building so much that when
y'all
you
y'all won't let me flow, man. Y'all cut me off. The feeling gone. I was about to do it. I was really about to do it. I was about to bust a flow. I swear to God, I was about to. You got this sweatshirt on. I was about to make you take it off because it was gonna get hot in here. Fire,
Wow.
fire.
something about you, I just don't believe that.
I cut my hair. Look,
You
I
did
saw
cut
that.
your hair.
Your
Look at
headphones are fitting
that.
much more nicely.
Yes.
what you say?
Your headphones are not at the top of your temples anymore.
My hair is so thick, but I cut it now because it was so thick. It was hard to wash my hair because my hair is so thick. Like the people out there know what I'm talking about. When your hair is thick and the water hits your hair and it doesn't get to your scalp, and you just gotta wait and you just wait and it finally gets there. That was too much for me.
Yeah, it's probably hard to get in there with all your curls.
Exactly. And then I got a big head too.
Well,
I know y'all was thinking
that's
that.
a whole
Where
nother.
am
That's
I?
a whole nother story.
Oh no, yeah, I know y'all were thinking that.
So
I got big appendages. My hands, feet, and head big. You feel me?
oh boy.
That's
I got
Freddie
that.
TV.
It's that
everyone.
elegante.
Yeah, there that is again. So we got. I'm actually. This is gonna be a very good episode. We have. I noticed one thing that people love.
Wait, I don't get any love, intro love. It's just all about Freddie's
I
voice.
said, how are you guys doing? Freddie, I guess, wanted to jump right
I
in.
heard guys. No, I'm just kidding. I had to figure out how to turn
There
that
you
around.
go again, Rick.
There
With your
you go
females
again.
and your guys. Tell them, Kim.
Kimberly Congdon, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for asking me. I missed you guys since last week. Glad to have a moment together.
Kim is one of the most raunchiest people ever, but her talking like that, she talking like she's so innocent.
Yeah, I come in grumpy
don't
as
let it
fuck.
fool you.
I come
Right.
in at least once or twice a month here. I come in without eating first, and then you guys see the real me.
Ooh, stay clear.
Oh, Rick and I, we've learned if we ever go on tour with this, we know to keep snacks in our pocket so Kim does not get hungry. That's the last thing we want
Yes.
Yeah.
because she's not her when she's hungry.
Ow.
Yeah.
I'm a diva.
Well, guys, one thing I learned about the podcast just from listening to the fans, they really like takeaway. They like to walk away from the podcast learning something. And let me tell you, we've got a lot of facts we're going to be talking about, a lot of stuff from the subway, some stuff out of the subway that people will definitely be walking away with, some useless information today. That being said, we do have a great show as well with, we're going to talk about how hot the subway gets, especially the past couple weeks. We've had some heat waves coming through, which have been brutal. And on top of that, we also have some bugs that have been showing up in the subway. So I reached out to our biologist, Phil Torres, again, and he'll weigh in on that. The biggest thing you guys don't want to miss, I got in touch with the people who were involved with that video of the epic stare down that happened on the train.
Oh my damn!
Got in touch with a bunch of people that were involved with that incident. You're not going to want to miss that one when we cover it on Video of the Week. But first, a couple things from the subway this past week and weekend. Electric Zoo came to the city. It was out on Randall's Island. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that or not. It's that huge EDM show. Usually comes out. Electric Zoo usually comes out this time of year. So of course you could only imagine the costumes and outfits of people commuting over to Randall's Island. I was getting inundated with videos and pictures of, I'll just say, pictures of some girls that I don't know if I was a father that I would approve of in those outfits. Because as you know, in that E-Zoo, Electric Zoo thing, it's they go basically in nothing.
Oh, really? It's like a Coachella Burning Man type thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so they got to catch the bus in Harlem. over. So it's like a bus that like they got a shuttle and it stops at 125th and Lex, and I live like on 128th. And so I have to walk through the madness going and coming like anytime I need to catch a train. And I saw this one girl, she had no shirt on. Titties was out.
Yep.
And they were covered by braids. She had these long braids that were like, they started in her hair that was black and then it went to blonde and it just covered her titties. And she had it like wrap around her body. So her covering was just her braids. That's it.
I mean, you see, there's a lot of outfits like they wear the big boots, the furry boots that come like halfway up their legs. But then the rest of what they're wearing is like a bikini, maybe a little bit less.
It's very Coachella, Burning Man.
Yes.
Let's do drugs and like fucking a tent vibe.
Right. So you can imagine the people who don't know what the hell's going on, see this on the subway, and they're like, what the fuck? So, in addition to that, there were when Electric Zoo actually ended, there ended up being a dance party on the 125th Street platform, and there was a DJ set up. It's a good question. I think it might have been the 456.
Probably was the green
because that's the one right over there on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
But we have footage of. Obviously, people were sending me this video left and right, and it's an entire train platform of people just sweating and dancing.
Oh, this sounds fun.
Yeah. Well, you can just listen.
What?
Yeah, that's the 456.
Now, you don't need to see a video to kind of picture what the hell is going on.
I was just imagining what would feel like to be like on drugs at a subway platform. Like that's not where I want to be on drugs.
It would be my worst nightmare because I would just have severe anxiety.
I'd be scared someone's gonna fall in. I'd be like, everyone's
I think that's the
jumping.
biggest fear, right?
I'm surprised nobody did fall in.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
You'd think that stuff like that would happen a little more often than it does, especially when you have that many people packed onto a platform and everyone's dancing. Like that's probably the worst thing you can do when you're on a packed platform. But so Izu has come and it has gone, and not without some lasting memories from the subway.
I can imagine.
Next topic. This was an interesting one. A woman reached out to me. Now, I had posted on my story this random video. Someone left a blob of peanut butter on one of the railings on the subway. So I'm like, this is just so random. Of course, I'm going to post this because there's just a blob of peanut butter sitting on there. Not thinking anything about it, the woman reached out to me and she said, can you tell me what train that is or where this took place? My daughter is highly, deathly allergic to peanuts. And if she was on that train, she would, her throat would close up. People have severe peanut allergies. And I never even thought about that. Can you imagine living the whole time in New York City, taking the train every day, and that's the way you go out?
Well, I just can't believe, like, for me, it's hard to be like, how did you make it this far without encountering peanuts? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, imagine living your life every day like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is how do you avoid it?
Have y'all seen that movie Hereditary?
No, I've not.
It's a scary movie, and that's the whole. That's a spoiler. If you hadn't seen it, too bad.
It's peanut butter.
Yeah, so the little girl, the little weird looking girl that you see. I don't know if you guys seen the trailers of that movie, but the weird looking girl, her brother takes her to a party, and basically she ends up eating like peanut brittle cake or something, and she's allergic to peanut butter, and her throat closes up. He's trying to rush and get her home, and she sticks her head out the window to get air, and her head hits a telephone pole.
What an
and
idiot.
it decapitates her.
Sounds like Final Destination or something.
That's a fucked up way to go. And trying to breathe and your head gets chopped off.
Right. And then their family kind of then gets haunted by some spirit, and it's kind of weird. The movie is like, you either gonna love the movie or hate the movie. I hated the movie, but
we just got a Freddie Friday review right there.
Freddie thought this was his Instagram for a minute.
So going back to that,
next week for Freddie watches Freaky Friday and tells us what he thinks about the big switch. You
raise an interesting point. Like, how do you live in New York and be allergic to peanuts?
I would be scared every day. I mean, I'm scared anyway taking the train because you just never know what you're going to run into.
Every
But
time I get on the train, I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to be alive. Every time. Literally. There's never been a train where the doors didn't close. I'm like, well, I might not
I think a
leave
lot
here.
of the time that's a common trait with every New Yorker, you know, and I'm starting to learn it's not just New York. It's also like the Bay Area in
Yeah.
California. They have the BART out
BART?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chicago has CTA.
Yeah.
Atlanta
Philly
has
Philly has the SEPTA, and all the common thread with all of these are that anyone who rides the public transportation in these areas, you just never know if this is going to be it, if this is going to be the last time.
Especially LA. LA has a subway too that nobody rides, but you know.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've gotten some. I've received some videos from there, and it's scary.
You know what the good thing about it, though? It made me realize I am 100% not racist because everybody has scared me. Like, a little white woman has gotten on the train and I've been like, I got to go sit somewhere else.
Those are the ones you have to look out for the most.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, we had the woman who sat on homeless people.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, imagine
The manager
imagine
called
the
her.
zero fucks given there. She's sitting on homeless people.
Yeah, everyone's real trash around here.
Wow. So peanut butter, you know, never even thought twice about it.
That's bogus as hell. Whoever
But-
did that, that's super bogus.
Well, that's a shitty thing because, you know, not that person was like, oh, I'm gonna kill someone, you know,
Or
with
maybe
this
they were.
peanut butter. Maybe they were. We don't know. But at the same, you know, I don't know. It just imagine being the person who, out of all the freaking trains in New York City, you come across the one where there's a glob of peanut butter on the railing.
It was just
and
a
you die.
germaphobe who usually wears gloves on the train but didn't have any and only had half of a peanut butter sandwich. That's what he put on the thing to hold it. Why else would you do that? Is what I'm saying. Why else would you put peanut butter up there?
Well, think about the fear going through this mother's mind now that she has to fear for her daughter encountering peanut butter on the train.
I would just be like, don't leave the house.
Yeah, I mean,
Put her in a bubble.
Yeah, I'd just give her the number for posting.
But see, the thing is, her daughter would mess around, get on that car, and wouldn't even see the glob of peanut butter. She would just be sitting there, and her daughter just start dying. It's like, what the hell going on? Like, oh man, there's some peanut butter over here. I don't know if you saw that. Like, oh damn.
And peanuts.
And then like remember the last we did a show I think a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and our producer was saying like on the bus in between stops you can't get off. Like he tried to get off. He's like 6 foot infinity. He's bigger than me, and he couldn't get off the bus. And the train you can't get off, so you just trapped.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Gives you.
Go ahead and bring that mood on down. There we go.
There you go. So, guys, we're in another heat wave. I know it seems like a reoccurring theme for the podcast and episodes because, you know, every time I feel like we're talking about a heat wave, whether it's a woman fanning herself or whether it's people just struggling through the heat in the subway, we are upon another heat wave. It's in the high 80s, low 90s for the past few days, and especially last week, it's made commuting a living nightmare. Now, what happened was someone posted a video of what actually looked like a pregnancy test, but it's one of those thermometers that looks like a pregnancy test.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, the ones you put in a baby's butt.
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Well,
Yeah.
it could go in their mouth too, I believe,
You know what
right?
was sketchy? Growing up, we had one of those, and my mom, I remember when we were younger, she used to stick them in our butts. And then, like, when we were older, we took them to the mouth, but I'd never remember buying a new one.
Ooh.
So it's like,
Your mom is so hateful.
I feel like there's some holes that need to be filled in, and not mine.
I think they were. Your mom was filling holes.
Right. I've never heard of the thermometer you stick in the baby's butt.
Really?
I don't think my mom did that to me.
Why
I'm pretty
can't we
sure.
just go for the conventional in the mouth, under the tongue?
Right. That's what I
Did your
remember.
mom ever put a suppository in your butt?
No.
I did get the. I did get
Yeah, high
those.
five.
High five. I don't know why
Anal-
I'm high fiving to that, but
Anal probing, Rick. That's what's up.
well, when you think about when you're a kid, also
It's traumatizing.
suppositories are
It's traumatizing.
they're a lot bigger when your body's a lot smaller.
And they're traumatizing. I remember exactly how they feel.
So what you saying is you can take something bigger now that you're bigger in the butt.
It just won't seem as big because my body's bigger.
Okay.
At least I'm going with that. I don't want.
wait.
I don't want any. But we're gonna get back on track
Wait a minute,
here.
hold on. They have something. What is that?
What do we have?
No.
We got
Wait a
Holy
second.
shit.
Bobby, our producer, just pulled out. What are they?
CBD suppositories.
CB
Wait, they're not paying us. Get those off of. Get those off.
They're not,
That's
but this
weed,
is.
right? And CBD.
Wait, somehow someone just pulled suppositories out of their pocket.
You know what?
Those things look, oh my God, they're huge.
What?
Never mind. I take everything back I said. Those suppositories are massive.
You can put it in your vagina too.
Uh-oh.
CBD for your vagina?
Oh, God.
You just took Kim to a whole nother level.
All right, guys. So this has been Subway Creatures. I'm Kim Congdon.
She will come back lit. Like, what's wrong
Wow,
with Kim?
that's fucking shocking.
see that?
I'm sorry
Wow.
that I took the subject and completely.
I apologize. We're getting so sidetracked, but at the same time, I am very.
Worth it.
Hold on.
Where did
These
who
things are
had
called-
suppositories in their pocket?
They're a sponsor for the network.
Oh well,
But look,
they're missing out right now because they could be a sponsor for us, and we will talk all day about
We
these.
will put them
apparently.
in our ass.
We're not getting paid to talk about these, and we're now going on about
Will we
5
not
minutes
put them in
talking
our
about
ass?
these.
No, but
All
these
of
things
us.
are called rocket ships. They're
Freddie,
called
will you-
rocket ships.
Will you put one in your ass?
No.
If they sponsored us.
Rick said he'll do it. So Rick gonna
We all have to do it.
Anything for the
One for
podcast.
all for
can't just put it in my
ass.
mouth?
One for all.
Oh
Man,
my
my
God.
mom used to give me castor oil.
No,
And I told her
no,
one day.
no,
In your ass?
no, we're not going down that road. We are going to talk about the heat in the subway. I'm not getting paid by
Forbid you.
CBD rocket ship
This is the best,
suppositories.
also the best ad for them ever. I'm not getting paid for CBD, infinite CBD.
I did that on
ad.
purpose. I did that on purpose. I'm sending a message loud and clear. So guys, going back to the heat wave, the woman pulled out the thermometer, coming full circle now. The thing read 106 degrees in the subway. Now, I'm sure because I've been down there. We just came from there when we were on our way here. It's definitely hotter than 106. At least it feels that way.
It's bad.
It's really bad. Now, this is also, you got people showing up to work drenched.
Yeah.
People, it's very uncomfortable. It's like standing in a sauna before you get to work.
You know what I've noticed? It's so hot out that people seem, at first when it got hot out, people were crazy. Like after the winter, everybody was like crazy. It was like they were defrosting and they were like, and now it's like people are exhausted from the heat. Everyone's like quiet and just like taking it
Yes.
and being like, we're going to use as little energy as we can.
It's very true.
It's like a booty sauna
Yes.
in the subway.
So here's the thing about the subway and it being that hot. Have you ever like had a passing train and you're like, oh, please send the wave of air this way?
No.
But at the same time, it's disgusting air.
I don't want any of the air.
I'll
Anytime I
take the
feel
air.
loose air, not
Loose
like
air.
anytime I feel air that's not like with nature around it, it's really disturbing for me.
Oh, there's
I hold my
nature.
breath when people walk by me. Often. It's really rude.
Are you one of those like germaphobe? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a-
you remember the last episode about touching the bars? Yeah, she said she was a germaphobe.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't like.
I mean, that's a little more understandable though. Holding your breath when someone's walking by, that's
Yeah.
that's a lot.
because
germaphobe.
I feel like their
She
air
says.
from their body will get inside of my body. That's like my thought.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way,
I know
we're
it's
all-
already happening.
We're
That's a horrible-
we're sitting in a studio right now, a very enclosed studio with a closed door. I mean, you
Yeah, but I'll take your guys' air
Guess
over,
who was
like,
just
a
in here before us?
stranger's
The half the cast of Jersey Shore was just in here, so you're breathing in that shit air.
yeah,
all
I'm
right?
breathing
So-
in like dick and pussy air, like
Yeah.
Jersey dick and pussy.
So think about that, okay? And
It
let's see
did
how often
smell
you're
like
going to be.
sauerkraut in here.
Sauerkraut and Frankfurters.
We'll never see him again. Okay, so
Watch next
there's-
week we'll be in a party with him. Hey,
Situation kicks open the door, beats your ass on your
I heard
podcast.
every word you said. So people, there's also the fear of passing out on the platforms.
Oh, yeah.
You have, so that's why I don't understand why people ever stand on the edge of the platforms. There's been a couple stories in the past couple of years of people who just faint and then they fall onto the tracks and they subsequently get run over.
they die.
I just don't understand why people do it. Because you don't necessarily know when you're going to faint, and it could happen anytime, especially when you're sitting in a subway that's 110 degrees.
Oh my God.
So there's always that fear. But the one thing I did notice when this video went up, there was a lot of people from out of town who were saying, you think that's bad? Come to Arizona or Texas in the summer. And I'm just sitting there like, that's exactly why I'm not in Arizona or Texas.
No.
Why would I come there in the summer? I don't want to experience the heat. Like,
And you know what? It's not I've
It's
been to
not,
Arizona
no.
and
Yeah.
Texas. It's not that far off, and it's just a lot quieter and cleaner there. So you're really not that. It's not like you're like, we're really toughing it out here. It's like, no, you're
Yeah,
not sitting fucking
I love the
shoulder
accent
to
you did.
shoulder.
It's 106 degrees at 10 o'clock at night over here in Texas. And I'm just like, well, I didn't choose to live there. You chose to live there. I didn't choose.
Yeah.
Like I chose New York where it's not normally 100 degrees. We're in a heat wave. That's why we're talking about this. It's
Yeah.
not usually like this
I don't
here.
know. This is my first time in. Well, I guess not. Yeah, it's my first summer. I only visited a couple times New York, so
Yeah.
it seems new. This
Well,
weather.
so this is-
everyone's
this is
saying that this is a different pattern though than it usually is.
Listen, don't get me wrong. The summers, it gets very hot in the subway.
Yeah, it does.
It's just, it's not consistently 100 degrees every day.
Yeah,
So,
it's been brutal.
you know, the fact that anyone is saying, "Oh, come to Arizona or Texas or wherever, Las Vegas," it's yes, we know it's hot there.
But here's the thing, like out there, like it gets hot, but it's like you hear it all the time. It's a dry heat. Like
Yeah.
that dry heat, it feels that you feel heat, but you feel coolness around it. Here, you got concrete everywhere. 1, 2, we're right on the ocean. We got humidity. It's thick.
It feels
It's
like someone
thick
took a
heat.
hot blanket and put it over you, like a
Right.
hot wet blanket,
Now,
like a
it's
steaming
like you're in
out
the
of
bed.
the oven blanket, and they put it over you, and
Right.
you're breathing in like hot moisture,
Now, picture that in the subway where that air has nowhere to go.
and it smells like BO.
And there's a lot of smells
Booty
that come
sauna.
with it. There's a lot of smells that
You're
come
a
with it.
big booty
Now picture
sauna.
all of that, and it is just awful commuting to work day in and day
It's
out.
It's like when you hear the word sweltering. New York is sweltering. It doesn't swelter in Arizona. The word for the day, swelter.
Well, someone else left a comment that I noticed talking about some weather phenomenon called what was the thing he called it? It's called urban heat island effect. So he goes, just look that up and then we'll talk. So I looked it up and I actually did some
Urban
research.
heat island effect.
Yes. And so now here comes the takeaway with the episode.
Okay.
So you're going to learn why the subways get so hot and why the city in general gets hotter than anywhere else around it. So the
Okay.
suburbs and the rural parts. And a lot of this almost seems like no brainer. It's like, oh yeah, duh. I get that. But if you ever notice the city will always be, when they give out the weather for like New York City, it doesn't even have to be New York. It could be Chicago. It could be LA. The city is always going to be hotter than around it.
Is the power grid?
It's not I mean, I guess that does play some part of it, but
Was it the heat?
it can be up to 10 degrees of a difference between the city and the suburbs. Now, because of that, the buildings, the pavements,
concrete.
the buildings and the pavement all absorb the heat that, the sun's giving off. And because of that, that heat is just going right into the ground, into the subway. And it's just staying there. It's not going anywhere because the
It's
buildings,
just retaining everything.
it's retaining everything. There's less vegetation, and vegetation, I guess, has this like cooling effect.
Yeah, that's what like leaves on the tree are doing. They're like
Exactly.
blocking the sun from
They're
the grass.
absorbing
and
the
yeah.
light.
Other than Central Park and a few other smaller parks in the city, there's not a lot of that, which also contributes. Then on top of that, you have cars and AC units that are giving off heat in addition to the heat that's coming in. So now you put all this together and there is a massive like heat ball right over the city. That's also why like in the winter when it snows, it's like they'll get like a foot of snow in Jersey, Long Island, but the city, it's very hard for snow to accumulate because the ground's still, it remains not hot, but it's going to remain warm throughout the year. And there's just nowhere for that heat to go. So it was interesting that guy wrote it. Again, it's called the Urban Heat Island Effect. And it is due to the buildings and the pavement all absorbing the heat and not being able for that heat to release or go anywhere.
Crazy.
I thought it was interesting. I was like, you know what? That's and all of that is if you want a source, it's all per the EPA. So it's not like I found that on
Wikipedia.
yeah, it wasn't off of a Wikipedia page, but
Wikimedia.
I wonder if the city does that with germs too, more than the suburbs,
interesting.
because you're holding everything in. It's all closer together.
Oh,
Yeah.
but fun fact, did you know that New York out of all the cities in America, has the most green space.
Interesting. I would have never.
space? What does that
What does that mean exactly?
Parks and places where you have greenery and stuff like that.
Now,
Wait, New
what are you
York City,
comparing
out of
that
all
to?
the places in the world?
What are you? Yeah.
In
What are
the
you
US.
comparing that? Oh, in the U.S.
All the cities in the U.S., New York has the most green space.
That's
They're number
shocking.
one. Yeah, it is. I read that. and
you
found it
are
out.
full of a lot of
Useless,
useless information.
My
But
friend, yeah.
like, when would that have ever come up other than right now on this podcast?
That's true.
When would
Right.
you
I
ever
would've
have
never
needed
heard
that
that
fun
never.
fact?
Never.
But then again, when would you ever have needed urban heat island effect? You know, so it's
Yeah.
like we're all just a fucking Snapple cap over here giving out random facts.
We need to go on Team Jeopardy.
So everyone has been dealing with the heat in their own ways. We have a picture that went viral last week that they sent in of a woman who decided to just take her top off.
Oh,
What?
snap. That's
Now-
what I'm talking about. What train is this?
So she's with her, what looks like her family. It looks like maybe
They're
her.
all topless.
So the little kid, I don't know if that's the husband or the boyfriend
Is that a boy
or
or girl? I can't.
her
That
son.
look like a boy.
But let me remind you, it is completely legal for women to take their tops off in New York City. So she
Equality.
is not breaking any law.
Equality.
It
Good
is
for her.
It is completely legal.
So people who can't see this,
I don't recommend doing that, by the way, on the subway. Just
I don't
taking
either.
your
Yeah.
shirt off like that. You're not only exposing yourself to a lot of shit, but you're also exposing yourself to the fucking weirdos who are now going to
Totally.
approach you, take pictures,
Like me.
and then you're going to end up on Subway Creatures. And it's.
I thought you were gonna go a whole different way with that. Thought you were gonna be like, "Don't take your shirt off. You're exposing yourself to children, you molester pervert." And you were so feminist about it, Rick. Wow.
Well, I just wanted, because a lot of people don't know that it's a law that women are allowed to take their shirts off in New York City now. That just got passed a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I always
And-
said that that's a loophole because New York City is the one place you don't want to be topless.
Well,
It's like very.
right.
It's like you're gonna get.
I think the
touched.
law should be the other way. Everybody need to have a shirt on, man and women. Nobody should be
They
shirtless.
should
walking
have a
around the
shirt on,
city.
you're saying.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
I
if
kinda-
you a man, you don't have your shirt on. I want to know, why don't you have your shirt on? What is about to happen? Like I said before, I get nervous when people don't have a shirt on, especially men. If you're not at the pool or the beach, why is you shirtless? I'm confused. But I think we need to describe our titties for people who can't see.
Oh, I was waiting for you to touch upon that.
Okay,
Now-
so since you want me to, Rick, I guess I'll humor people. So her areola is about dime shape. It's very small, which is kind of disappointing. I like bigger areolas myself. Nipples look very small, but the titty consistency is pretty respectable. Looks nice and smooth. It got a little droop, but they're natural. They're natural, little droop. But
Sounds like he's baking. We just add a little bit of baking powder and bam, titty sauce
Either
all
that or
over
it's
the
like
place.
Bob Ross painting.
Yeah.
yeah, but overall, her titties ain't bad though. Them some respectable, nice titties.
The family looks like they do. This is what they do. This is how they live.
Well, you know what's ironic to
Amish? Like
you know what's ironic to what you just said is that maybe she does, but then why does she have tan lines on her titties?
Rick, now Rick, let's get it what Rick.
See, Rick acts like he doesn't look that hard. but
Yeah,
then-
right.
Listen,
I like that.
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't either.
As Freddie was breaking it down, I was forced to look at it, and I noticed
we see it
tan
again?
lines. I noticed tan lines on the titties, and I just didn't understand. If
Yeah.
she never wears a top, why does she have tan lines?
Well, you know what? Maybe they're not from here. Maybe they're from a place where she has to wear a top,
And
and
she's
she's
just-
really excited because she could not wear a top in New York.
And again, we don't know. So that's the great part, is that everything is just speculation because we don't know.
Okay, and the people also, you can't see, so she's black. So her titties are caramel and her skin is chocolate too. So that'll give y'all a little extra about the tan line. So really fill it in for
In
you.
case you guys were wondering.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Titties are very important. Yeah, I'm a tittyologist.
I know you've made that very clear in
Tityologist.
past episodes.
Yeah. Oh, with the creepy. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got some creepy titty DMs. I looked at them. It's nothing wrong. I don't discriminate. I don't like the titty shame.
Oh, yeah. Well, my mom's very excited to meet you on Saturday. So
Oh boy.
we'll see. We may have to bring cameras to my birthday party where you meet my mom.
Yeah,
and,
you guys, it's Rick's birthday next week, so fucking
Rick's gonna be 23. Hold on.
hit me up. I'll let everybody know where his party's at because I just like to make things exciting.
Send
If
us
you
a tweet,
DM
guys.
me on Instagram, I'll tell you where Rick's party is at, and you can personally show up.
it's
and
very, very exclusive event. So even if you know where it is, good luck getting in.
If you know, but He gonna be the doorman. Rick is famous. Rick is popular.
I'll put you on the guest list. Just DM me.
Guys, let's get into the clip of the week.
Okay.
Clip of the week. I can't wait to
Clip
see
of the week.
this. Oh yeah, this clip right here, man.
All right, guys. This video, this is a big one. This had a lot of people talking last week. A lot of people speculating. A lot of people wanting some answers. Now, I
haven't seen this.
You have not seen this one, Kim. I am very disappointed.
No, I'm really
I've seen
excited. This is like when I watched Game of Thrones after all my friends watched it.
All right.
Or when I watch Insecure after all my friends watch Insecure.
Well, I'm gonna set this one up. There is a girl who gets on. For those of you who have not seen it, there's a girl who gets onto the train. She sits down next to a woman. This woman is giving her a death stare.
No.
And not looking away. And like it's going on for a very awkward amount of time. And to the point where I think someone's sitting across.
And she's really scary looking too.
And she looks like she wants to kill her. So there is clearly someone sitting across from them who notices this happening and pulls out their phone and gets a video of it. Now, I talked to the girl, the brunette girl who's getting stared at.
You talked to her?
I talked to her, and I talked to the guy who took the video. And
Okay.
I really wanted to find out because obviously everyone who watches this wants to know the backstory. They want to know, what did that girl do to her?
Okay.
That she is. That,
I'm dying.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? This girl looks like a wildling from Game of Thrones.
Okay. So
She's like,
actually,
I'm gonna cut your clit off and wear it around me neck.
well, she looks like a Targaryen from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she looks like the brother.
Oh yeah.
She looks like the brother Targaryen. Can we pull up the brother Targaryen next to her?
Actually, this might be really good to do because I thought that immediately because she's got the platinum blonde hair.
Yes.
And she's got the features that what I don't remember what the guy's name was, but whatever the guy Targaryen was.
But hold on, but somebody in the comments said
Loser,
that's
less
a man.
cool Targaryen is what I called him.
Somebody in the comments said that was a man. That wasn't even a woman. They're like, that's a dude. That's a
Now,
boy.
see, that's where the comment section can
got a
really
strong
get
face.
bad sometimes.
Right.
You know, people obviously who are the subject of some of these videos can really take a pounding in the comment section, and it's not necessarily, you know, it's not always fair. It's not always just, and it's not always fair. Yes, this woman was staring this girl down, but once again, like always, we don't necessarily know what happened. We don't know the backstory until now. But
What did she tell you?
Okay, go ahead.
so we'll get right into this. So the girl who's getting stared down, her name is Natalia, and she actually
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
hold on. We're gonna do a timeout because we've now been able to put up the Targaryen.
I mean, it's really close.
Ooh, that is pretty accurate right there.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
This is not
and
good.
then, and then Targaryen we pull up
Very, I as I usually do sometimes, I recommend either going on YouTube or
Gas Digital.
subscribing to Gas Digital so you can watch the video version of this
Hell yeah.
episode because we put the girl staring. We put her picture up next to the Targaryen guy from Game of Thrones, and it's pretty spot on.
doppelganger.
So what did this girl say? What was
Yes. So going back. All right. Natalia gets on the train. She sits down in an empty seat. Nothing happens. She doesn't kick the girl on accident. She doesn't touch her. She doesn't say a word. Nothing. Just sits down. She said the girl started like staring at her where she was like burning a hole through her soul. She originally thought the girl was looking out the window. So she's like, all right, whatever. Then she, out of the corner of her eye, realized the girl's staring right at her. And now the girl starts getting scared. Natalia starts getting scared.
I would too.
I would be scared
Because the other girl is not looking away. She's just sitting there staring at her and like not breaking character or anything. So finally, Natalia gets to the next stop and she's like, I'm getting the fuck off this train. So she gets up to walk away and the girl kicks her as hard as she can in the leg and then smiles and goes, sorry. And the girl said she got off the train so quick because she was so scared. Now, there's a couple things to this. I asked the guy who took the video. Now, he said that obviously he realized what was going on. He said, so I wanted to document it. He goes, I will admit, when the train stopped and Natalia got up and walked away, she goes, I couldn't see the kick because so many people got up to get off the train that it kind of blocked his view. But he heard the sorry. He heard the woman say sarcastically, sorry.
I'm sorry.
So he said that according to what he saw, Natalia did nothing to this woman. So clearly this one, well, that's the point that I wanted to make and I wanted to talk about.
Beating right now.
Me too. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so scared of this girl.
Okay.
She like gives me really bad like juju. Like she gives me bad vibes. Like she makes me feel kind of like you know that movie The Ring where you watch a video and after you watch it you're haunted?
Right.
I feel like if I look at her too long, something's gonna happen to me.
It reminds me of that movie Devil. You ever seen the movie Devil? Everybody stuck on the elevator?
You've seen a lot of movies.
I have, yeah. It's the movie
Oh,
Devil.
yes.
Yeah, everybody
Where
stuck
one
on the
of them's the
elevator.
devil?
One of them's the devil. Yeah, that's like that. It's
Yeah.
like this not this devil, but we all stuck on the car, and then once somebody's the devil, she's just making it obvious. I'm the devil. 666. That's scary.
All right. So again, this is another situation where a lot of people were saying, you know, good. I give you a lot of credit, Natalia, because if that were me, I would have punched this bitch. I would have said something. But I think it's a very important point to know that this is, I'm not saying this specific incident, but stuff like this happens every single day on the train. And
oh my God.
Is that Steven Tyler? So now they put the picture up of Steven Tyler.
Put a picture of Steven Tyler.
She is very Steven Tyler.
So she's a cross between Steven Tyler and a Targaryen.
I'm
She's
not
Steven
listening.
Targaryen.
Steven Targaryen.
Oh, get the me. All right. Dude looks like a lady.
I think that, God, that's ironic that he sings that song too.
Exactly.
All right. So there's clearly something wrong with this woman. I mean, I don't know what else to explain. I do not know who she is, and I did not get in touch with her. I don't know what her past is or anything.
She's not okay.
To be fair, but I don't think that she's okay. So obviously I would hope that, you know, she's getting some kind of help because one day she is going to do this to the wrong person and you don't know how they're going to react and they might turn around and punch her.
Not that big either.
She's not, but you can't. Here's the thing, and here's
But she
here's
looks like
one of
her
my
jaw can take a fucking punch. That jaw
That
can take
is-
a few punches. I'm not gonna lie, that jaw looks
hey,
strong.
she got a strong
bro.
jawline.
Yeah,
So you know,
she can drink through a straw like a champ. Like
She can drink mud through a straw.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people like this on the train, and even though they don't all make themselves known, sometimes they do in situations like this. You cannot fight crazy.
That's true.
You-
You know,
there-
I said I
there
would beat
is-
her ass, but I probably
There
wouldn't do
is
anything.
no fighting crazy. So I asked Natalia, I said, what was your reaction? She goes, I was so scared because,
And she
she's-
doesn't look scared
she's-
there.
No, she does. She does. Guys, if we pulled the video up,
It was two videos.
She
though.
looks.
so let me just make this clear. Natalia in this video knows the entire time at this point that this woman's staring at her and she's trying her hardest not to look at her, but you can see it in her face. She looks scared.
Oh, side note, she has
she
a
looks
American
scared.
Express
But
shop
she-
small bag on. I can know that bag anywhere.
But
It's American
Natalia
Express.
looks like she could fucking take her.
Maybe so.
I'm putting bets in.
Maybe so. But again, this woman could have had a knife on
That's
her.
true.
She
And
could
that's
have
what
had
I
a
worry
weapon.
about.
So like going back to what I was saying, you can't fight crazy. And if the woman does have a mental illness, you know, the idea is not to put her on blast. The idea is I hope that she's getting help. B, it's more important that people are aware of situations like this from the other perspective, from Natalia's perspective, because even though people were saying, and to this day still are, oh, if that were me, I would have done this. I applaud Natalia for going the direction that she went with all this, and I think that she handled it really well.
Yeah.
You don't know what kind of shit you're getting yourself into if you decide to start a physical fight on the subway with this woman. Both of you could end up on the tracks. You know, maybe the door opens and you guys are fighting and you roll into the tracks. Like, and for what? Because the woman was staring at you. Yeah, I get it. She kicked her, but Just walk away. Walk away. Man, that is...
Diffused.
You guys said that you were scared just from watching the video. Imagine being in the video and she's staring
scared.
at you.
She's scary. She's like
She looks
very
scary.
scary. She looks like she came to do something bad.
But that's my point. Like, those are those, the eyes where it's like, you could tell
It's undeniable
the lights
crazy.
are on, but no one's home.
But no, I mean, but sometimes people think that people got mental illnesses, and it's like I think she also kind of chose her, because like mental illness to me, if she doing that to like somebody like Kimbo Slice, and she doing that like bitches, you crazy? Look at him.
Well, yeah. There's also my boyfriend told me he saw a couple of like 18-year-old kids, a couple sitting in the train, and this crazy guy, he said, was over and they was fucking with them, and he was like barking at the kids, and he was really scaring them. And Lewis went, "Stop fucking with them. They don't want to fuck with you." And then the guy just got quiet and left. And it's like sometimes they choose also.
Yeah.
Right.
who
If you
they
got
can
you
let
got that much
out on.
wherewithal, like to I'm gonna choose this person to mess with, somebody else come in and you shake out of it, like,
But
are
who
you really
knows?
crazy?
Maybe she just randomly picked someone that sat next to her.
Maybe. And to your credit, Freddie, maybe she's not mentally. Maybe there's nothing wrong with it. She's just having a bad day. But there's
Maybe
a very...
she confused her with somebody else.
That could very easily be the
That
case.
happened with that kid that got murdered in the Bronx, right?
Yes.
He got confused for someone else.
The gang, what are they called? The M16, MS16, something like that.
Oh, MS-13.
MS-13.
Lord,
They thought that the kid Junior was their person, and they had the wrong guy, and they ended up killing him right there on the middle of the
Super
street.
sad, yeah.
So again, don't mess, like, it's not worth it. But at this, maybe she was, maybe she's just having a bad day. Who knows? But walk away. That's the best way to handle it. There's also the thing that the cameraman said, and I asked him, I'm like, did you see her get kicked? And the first thing that he said was no, and I would have done something if I saw that happen, because he really hates the notion that people have that New Yorkers don't look out for each other.
Yeah.
He goes, I absolutely would have either said something or walked over and just made my presence known.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, but obviously I knew that this girl was scared. She looked very scared. And, he was like, I don't want people to think that New Yorkers are always just standing by, not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that's the case, how come he didn't give up his seat so she can switch?
He wasn't sitting. He was standing.
Well, he also could have gone over and been like,
Right.
"Stop doing that. You're scaring her."
Yeah. I mean, but you don't know the situation.
It's good to say things after the fact, like, oh man,
It really is.
If he would have did that, then I would have done this.
It's
Like,
always
would you?
Monday morning quarterbacking when it comes to
Yeah, that's
situations
true.
like this. But even this morning, there was a woman who sent me a video, and it was her standing and a guy sitting, and she was standing. It was a crowded train because it was rush hour, and she was standing right over this guy. This guy took a picture of her feet. She was wearing sandals. He took a picture of her feet with her looking right down at his phone, and just kept staring at the picture after he took it. And I asked her, I go, are you sure? Are you sure the camera, he just didn't have his camera open and was like going through stuff? She goes, no, I watched the lens close and open, and it was a picture that he took of my feet, and he just had it now in his collection. And I said, did you say anything to him? She goes, no. She goes, because you have a picture of my feet. So what? I'm
worth it to
not,
get
you
punched in the
don't
face.
know. The tie-in to all this is you don't know who these people are and what level of craziness they may be at.
That's such a bad feeling too, though, because then you're like, I just have to let this guy do this.
It's
Because
I
I
know.
can't say anything
and
'cause I
I
don't
feel
know.
there's got to be some kind of medium. There's got to be some kind of halfway where it's like you don't have to just sit back and take it, but at the same time you also don't want it to escalate into a situation where you're
you
now
die.
you're going to get shanked on the subway, or because there is the fear that if I say something to this guy right now,
It's gonna stab me.
he's going to get up,
Or
he's
eat
going to
your
punch
face.
me, because I've said this in past episodes. If the
Yeah.
person is crazy enough to stare at you, like in that video, or take a picture right in your face with them seeing it, who knows what they're capable of. So
That was
I think it's more so the boldness. If they're bold enough to just stare in your face, if they're bold
There's a
enough to
very
just take a picture, like
there's a
like-
very fine line
Like, what you
between
gonna do?
boldness and craziness, though. Like that's
It is.
I mean, and it's very
if
hard
I
to draw
ever see
the
that
line.
girl, I'm running.
You know what the thing is that she's got a very distinguished
She's
look.
recognizable.
So like she's the type person who I guarantee you, people now are walking around and they see her and they're like, just like you just said,
Yeah.
you know, oh shit, it's the girl.
Targaryen
I stay away.
It's Stephen Targaryen, yeah.
Stephen Targaryen. She has a name. Kim just stamped her. Anybody sees her, we're like, Stephen Targaryen, I know you.
Now the tie-in to both those stories is, you know, you got to know there's a fine line of knowing when to speak up and say something.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have an answer to that. I don't know what it is. If you guys have any,
Hell no. I'm not
I'm
saying
like
nothing.
the worst because I always think I'll do something. I got scared by a crazy person on the train once, and I'm always the first one to be like, we'll stand up for myself. I will fight, whatever. But some crazy lady yelled at me, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll move. Because then at that point, I was like, am I gonna just fist fight this 50-year-old woman now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how I feel about like high school kids that you run into on the train.
high school kids don't give a fuck.
They don't give
High
a
school
fuck.
kids will kill you and then fucking eat a fruit gusher over your body. Like,
And I've
Gushers are good.
and I've said that in the past, and it's one of those situations where, and also, what am I going to do? Am I going to beat the shit out of a 13-year-old right now?
I will. It depends
but-
on what they do.
But
You got to learn someday. You got to learn. Life. This is life teaching you. This life. I'm life. Call me life.
Again, you sound like one of the people who were from that comment section where they were like, please let that be me. Please let that be me.
No, when it come to kids doing stupid stuff, somebody
kids
will
will
whoop your
jump
ass.
you. No, kids will jump you.
Look.
They'll take all their fucking friends. They'll jump you. They'll
I got
hop on
adult
their city
strength.
bikes
I got adult strength.
that they fucking took.
Is there
They're
an F in that
fucking
word?
they're
Adult strength.
they're hacked city bikes, and they'll fucking gang jump you.
No, they will.
Kids need to learn a lesson. Now adults,
Kids
like
will
it's too
purge
late
a
for you to learn a
store.
lesson.
Kids
you
will
gonna learn a
purge a
lesson.
store. They'll just go into a store. and
I've
fucking-
seen it happen a number of times.
Growing up, we would group rob stores.
Yep.
I've never done that.
And so this is the kind of thing that I constantly. This is the kind of I don't want to call it a struggle, but this is the problem that I have a lot of the time in these videos that people send me. You gotta try and decipher: are they crazy? Are they drunk? Are they just a different kind of crazy, like not mentally ill crazy, but looking for attention kind of crazy? You really can't tell with this woman with the context of the video. Obviously, you know, when someone has a mental illness, you don't want to exploit that. But
Right,
I
yeah.
think
She
there's an
looks-
awareness that needs to come in these type of situations where, you know, someone in that woman in Natalia's case, she handled it very well.
Yeah.
And she walked away just like she probably should have in that situation, because that looks like it probably would have escalated to a level that I don't know that Natalia necessarily could handle. But, you know, there's a very fine line between
She was
drunk, crazy, and attention seeking. And that's, you know, you constantly are trying to decipher
What's
in all
what.
these videos.
That was a good video though. I think because he had two videos too. It's two.
There were two. The other video was the exact same thing,
Yeah.
just a little bit shorter. But what that did was it emphasized
How long
this woman was actually staring at her.
Do we have the other one? Is it the same?
I don't think we don't have it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like
Can
two.
I just see her face one more time? I gotta put this in my memory bank.
It's like two
It is
15-second videos of
The
her.
most horrific. It is like she's looking at her like Natalia took her firstborn baby. Like that girl got her baby taken away, and she just saw the new mother that took her the baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So notice the little caption on the top of the video. Been grilling her for 4 stops now. So
That's
this
about
went,
20 minutes.
That is a long time in New York time and in subway time. 4 stops is an eternity.
It's like 8 minutes.
So for her to be staring like that for 4 stops, and this is the first video. There's the second video, so it even went past 4 stops. So. You know what, Natalia? I feel for you. And
This girl's dressed nice. The scary looking girl. She looks like she's pretty well put together. She's dressed nice.
She wants to eat her face. She's looking at her like she wants to eat her face. Like
I
she wants
need
to
to
eat her
know.
face. She's gonna take her.
If you
being.
know this girl, hit us up because I would love to talk to her. The scary
What?
one.
What? Talk to her where?
She would
In
be
here?
interesting.
On the phone.
Yeah.
On the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
The producer said on the phone.
On the phone, right? Not sitting across from me. Like I'll
I think
call
it'd
out
be
for that
fun
show.
if like she started chasing us. We all ran around the tables.
That's the show. We need security in here. I'm not coming unless we got security.
We'll get her and the woman who sat on the homeless guy together in the same episode, and they can sit at the table with us, and we'll see how that conversation goes.
That sounds
I'm
great.
coming in here dressed like a catcher in baseball. Like
Bring your Kevlar
right here.
Yeah.
The I'm gonna call the manager lady. She has the I'm gonna call the manager starter kit on her head. Like that's when you go to the hair salon. You like give me the I'm gonna call the manager cut, and that's what you get right there.
We had a couple of good questions sent in this week.
Oh, your homeboy.
Now, I included the name to this question just because it kind of went good with the question. So, Saggy Dick 69, yes, that is his account name, sent me a message this morning saying, where can I find any and all of the videos that have been taken down off of your account? Now,
Your
that's
saggy videos.
yeah, so there's an easy answer for that. That's basically what the website's for, citysubwaycreatures.com. I put all of the adult content, which is usually the stuff that gets taken down anyway. Instagram has been super strict with. So I had Instagram take down 2 videos in the past week, and they gave me a warning saying they're going to disable my account. One was a woman holding a tote bag that had a veiny dick on it, a picture of a veiny dick.
That was not allowed?
It was not allowed. Instagram took it down and said that I broke community guidelines, and it was reported.
Okay.
I said it's a picture of a dick. Was it because of the veins?
Probably the
Did
veins.
the veins do it?
The veins. I think
It
the
was
veins
the
did. Yeah.
veins.
You can have a phallic shaped
Yeah.
dick,
If it's on soft, that's not threatening.
but
when
you
it's
can't,
on brick,
no veins.
oh,
That's too much.
Brick dick?
if it's on brick, then oh yeah, that's too threatening right there. That means some action about to happen.
So they've been policing pretty hard. So if my account disappears off of Instagram anytime soon,
You gotta have a
which
backup.
fingers crossed it doesn't, you know why? Because of veiny dicks.
What's the backup account? You have a backup for this episode?
We have What is New York, but there's no backup account to Subway Creatures.
So that's coming soon, guys. Stay tuned. Rick gonna start a backup account.
It's got to come soon. I mean, this is everything. Subway Creatures is everything for me. If I lose that,
He'll kill himself.
There's not much to fall back on.
I'm gonna be calling him every 10 minutes. If that
If
happens.
Rick loses Subway Creatures, you're going to sit next to him on a subway one day. He's just going to glare at you like that girl did.
It'll be a pretty lifeless glare. So Saggy Dick 69, check out citysubwaycreatures.com where you can find all of the adult content that has been taken down off the site, and it comes with a warning. There is some graphic stuff on there.
Bruh.
So that's why it gets its own section on the website, and it has nothing to do with Instagram or any of the other pages because it is pretty graphic stuff.
Yeah, we've seen some of the videos, and all I can say is, oh my god.
It's basically porn, is what I'm saying. Rachel wants to know what's up with all the praying mantis videos that I've been posting, and to be honest with you, she's got a point. I don't know if they're the same praying mantis, but there have been a lot of clips sent to me of praying mantis on the subway. So I reached out to Phil Torres. You guys remember Phil Torres?
The bug guy.
From the first episode?
About the furry caterpillars.
About the furry caterpillars, yes. So I reached out to him again, and I was like, Phil, what's up, man? We got more bug problems. I said, I don't know if it's the same one. I said, but there are a lot of praying mantis videos getting sent to me of people seeing them on the subway. I go, is there any explanation for this? And what I said to him, I was like, I know, remember with, have you ever heard about cicadas?
Oh,
How every 7 years they come out of hiding and like they infiltrate
I
cities.
don't even know what cicadas are.
oh my god. I got bad experience with cicadas. Oh my god.
So cicadas are those like beetle looking. They're like really huge
They're
beetle
locusts.
looking.
They're locusts and they're blind and they're attracted to sound. And when they fly, they say.
So every 7 years they come out from underground and they
Like
like
the plague.
infiltrate like suburbs, rural areas. So I was asking Phil if
Praying mantis do this?
if this is the same with praying mantis, and he said his exact thing was no, they don't have cyclical populations like cicadas, but a combination of extra heat and extra rain is really great for their populations.
Oh, okay.
He goes, and since we've been in a heat wave and it's been so humid. He goes, that could attribute to why they're coming out in numbers. Now, at one point, I feel like praying mantis were on like the endangered species list. That's why I think it's so weird that all of a sudden they're everywhere.
Yeah, there's been quite a few videos of them.
So to answer Rachel's question, Phil said that
The heat and the moisture.
the heat and the moisture may be the reason for it, but hopefully they don't come in like one of the plagues and start taking over everything, because these things are pretty scary looking.
Well,
I'm just glad they're not cicadas.
The women praying mantis, when they have sex with the men, they take their heads off after.
They eat the heads right off of them. I did hear that.
So that's
that
cool.
kind of sounds like you. I can picture you
Exactly.
doing something.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I was gonna say too. It sounds like you, Kim.
You're a man eater.
Yeah, you have sex with a guy, you rip his head off. So that means you and
Well, Lewis is still
Lewis just
around.
walks in with a neck bone.
her and Lewis hadn't done anything yet.
So Rachel, thank you for your question. Saggy Dick 69. Good luck.
Dick.
Good luck on the website.
Maybe he won't be saggy dick 69 no more.
It's gonna be Hard Dick 69.
After what he sees.
Yeah. Let's dig into the comment section real quick, guys. This video might be one of my favorites so far of 2018.
Oh, I love
The
this.
guy on BART, and for those of you who don't know what BART is, it's Bay Area Rapid Transit out in the San Francisco,
Oakland, San Fran.
that whole area in southern in California.
Shout out to Oakland.
This guy pulled his pants down to rip ass and then proceeded to hose it down with a bottle of. To be honest, it looked like Lysol. I don't know if it was Febreze, but it looked like Lysol, which makes it even funnier if it was. But
I love how you call fart and rip ass.
what phrase would you like me to use, Freddie?
He's like, put out a rip ass. I've heard that so long.
Okay. Well, you know what? Who got the video?
You remind me of my grandma saying break wind. Oh, God. Oh, here we go. Here go the
Yeah,
video.
so we got the video of the guy pulling his pants down and farts, gives it psst, psst.
I love
Dude,
that flick of the wrist.
the little shot that he gives it.
He did it so swaggy, though.
Now, you guys, anyone listening has had to have seen this video on my account.
Can you hear the fart?
You can't because the
Train's
damn
so loud.
background noise, but you can only imagine what it smelt like or sounded like.
So this guy, he looks like Rick Rubin, like a younger Rick Rubin.
He does kind of look like Rick Rubin, you're right.
And, if you don't know who Rick Rubin is, he started Def Jam with Russell Simmons, but he looked like a younger Rick Rubin. He just pulls it. I thought he was going to poop at first,
Yeah, it looks like he's going to poop the way he pulls his pants down. Also, like, if I was a homeless chick, I'd hit him up. He's got, like, swag.
Yeah. The way he sprayed the
He's got
Lysol.
fart swag.
Yeah. I can't front on that. I agree with him. Yeah.
The spray kind of sold it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
spray is like, look at the flick of the wrist, play it.
And
Look
how
at the
he
flick
pulls
of the
up his
wrist.
pants, grabs his dick.
Look at
He
the
don't
flick
give
of the
a
wrist.
fuck.
There is this little, like, almost like a gun going off. Like his wrist flicks back when he shoots it.
Right.
Yeah, he does do it like a gunshot.
He like sprays and like I can imagine him saying bitch right afterwards.
He looks
Bitch.
I like that. Bitch.
Right. Like.
and he looks everyone in the eye as he sprays it. Like, yeah.
He does.
And,
He
yeah,
does.
spraying it.
Like he wants
going like, "You're
everyone
welcome."
he wants everyone to know sitting around him like, listen, I know you guys just witnessed what happened,
Right.
but you also just witnessed me spraying it. So I
Like,
got this. I
he had-
got
he had-
this.
He had that look like, I did this for you.
Yeah,
He spread like,
absolutely.
This is for you.
Well, sometimes the comments, the simpler, the better for these, and that's why Tralf has, if I'm saying that right, he just called her Fart Bay, called him Fart Bay.
That's great.
And Kim, I know you said something similar to this, and great minds think alike.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I love it.
I know why he
did.
called him that because Salt Bay
No,
did
I
the
know.
thing with the. Oh, okay.
Freddie, we know.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, please go on.
Yeah,
Explain to
I
us
don't
where
wanna-
Fart Bay comes
I don't
from.
want a Rick. I don't want a Rick.
Explain to us where Fart Bay
It was
comes
just
from.
a
No.
coincidence that you picked that one and it happened to be a
No.
viral thing.
No, I don't want to tell you. anymore.
No, please go on with this
I don't wanna-
explanation.
I don't wanna, Rick.
my lord.
Ricky.
So I see the tie in there. Oh, it's because of Salt Bay. Fart Bay, Salt Bay. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Freddie.
I'm smart.
Oh
So
my God.
sometimes simple. I like that. That guy can
Less
now
is
be
more.
he'll be known as Fart Bay. So if you see him on the BART in San Francisco in the Bay Area, that's Fart Bay.
Hilarious.
So he's the type to fart in the bed with you and put your head on the cover. Take it, bitch. Take this poop.
There you go. What do they call it? Dutch oven.
There you go.
Dutch oven.
Is that what it's called?
I believe so. Is that a phrase you haven't heard in a while too?
I've never heard that in my life.
You've never heard Dutch oven. A lot of takeaway in this episode, folks. A lot of takeaway.
That is hilarious. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the odd man out.
Kim, have you ever been Dutch ovened?
Yeah.
She said that like, of course.
I'm shocked. These aren't even questions. Have I breathed?
I've never been
Have I ever been
Dutch
Dutch? Yes, you have, Freddie.
I wish a bitch
You've watched
would
porn
Dutch
and
oven
you've
me.
been
That would be
Dutch
the last-
ovened. Fuck you.
That'd be
Guys,
the last
You've
thing we
watched
do.
porn and you've been Dutch ovened.
So here's another comment that I really liked. Rod Serling Lives said, people are missing the real pro move in this video. He pulls his boxers down to expose his bare asshole first. This avoids any shit ghost odors from building up in the fabric. You really don't see expertise like that anymore. Bravo. Mwah.
Oh, you know what?
Shit ghost odors.
I think he left that comment because he didn't really think that it was a fancy thing to happen.
I see what you're doing there. Freddie, you wanna break that one down for us? See, he was being sarcastic and he was
This
saying,
is bullying, guys. I want you to know that. There's a lot of initiatives going on about bullying.
listen, you opened yourself up. You opened yourself up.
You're like me with those suppositories.
I'm like you, like
Those
with-
suppositories they're gonna open you up, all right. You're gonna be gaping with those
I couldn't
suppositories.
imagine doing that. You probably high all day with these things. Like
Ass
you
high.
never come down.
I also want to give an honorable mention to the couple. I don't have the screenshot of them, but I thought it was hilarious. The one guy who called his girlfriend out, he goes, "My girlfriend doesn't spray after her farts." She went right along with it. She was like,
tagged
"Yeah,
her?
well, stop feeding me beans at dinner time." Like this, it sounds like a fun couple.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
It's like
Hashtag relationship goals.
it was relationship goals, really was.
Good for them.
Honorable mention to them. I didn't want to call them out because I didn't want to put them on blast because it seemed like they were a fun couple, but you know, I
put them
thought
on
that was
blast.
very funny.
You should put them on blast. You know, it's in the comments, right?
It's you are free game. So you know what? Next time I will absolutely. I'll
Show
put
them
them on blast, but it's not putting them on blast really. It's kind of like
just
laughing with them.
highlighting.
We're not laughing at them. We're laughing with them in that case.
Yeah.
Highlight.
If you think your captions or comments are funnier than these ones,
Yes.
send them in. We clearly read the comment section to most of these videos, so keep them coming. And we, as long as they're good, we'll introduce them and call them out and give you shout outs on the show.
For sure.
Guys, we are already at that time for shameless plugging.
Oh my God.
Freddie, why don't you go first?
And look, Freddie B TV, know why my name. Y'all holla at me, tell me why you hate me, tell me why you love me. And we'll talk, especially sports, football season coming up. So, you want to rap sports, let me know. Kobe or LeBron, let me know.
And Freddie, you were recognized last week from Subway Creatures podcast, weren't you?
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was at the 2K event. Somebody came like, "Oh, Subway Creatures, Freddie B from Subway Creatures." It threw me off. I was like, because at first he was just staring at me with his eyes open. I was like, "What's going on?" I felt like the Targaryen, Stephen
Targaryen.
Yeah, Stephen Targaryen.
Yeah.
See, I don't watch Game of Thrones, guys. Sue me, kill me. But yeah, I felt like Stephen Targaryen was staring at me, and I was kind of nervous.
And he said, "You're Freddie B
Freddie B from Subway Creatures. What's up?" Oh, first he was like, Subway Creatures. Oh my God, Subway Creatures. Freddie B from Subway Creatures. Oh man, I love this. I love the podcast. Ooh.
Well, I told you before.
cool.
If it were me, that kid probably would have been like, "I have no fucking idea who that guy
It's
is."
the beard, man. You like a Viking, man. They're like, "Oh, the Viking from Subway Creatures. It's you."
Kim, what do you got for us this week?
Oh my God. Okay. Follow me on Instagram at Kim Congdon. Listen to my podcast, Broad Topics, on iTunes, itunes.com/Broad Topics. Broad Topics with an X. Watch Stone Science. It's on Gas Digital Network. Also on YouTube. Stone Science on iTunes. And, subscribe and rate and review Subway Creatures because I love this podcast. It's one of my favorite things to do now.
Subscribe, man. Subscribe.
Yeah. If you're
okay.
listening, we run a free podcast. I feel like I say this every week, but your reviews and your likes and sharing things
Yes.
really is what helps us. So
Absolutely. Show us some support. You can show me support at R. McGuire 13. Also, What is New York? Subway Creatures. I assume you're already following. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher. Also, we are officially streaming on Gas Digital Network now.
Yeah.
Use the promo code Subway and get a subscription on Gas Digital. You can binge watch every episode in HD, commercial free. And including this episode, which is going to be streaming within the next 24 hours, and we will all be kind of following in the chat, and we'll interact with the fans. And for all you not listening to this on Gas Digital right now, get on over there. And again, use promo code Subway. You get a discount, and you get not only our podcast, you get every other podcast, which are actually really good podcasts.
Great podcasts on this network.
They do. They're super funny, super interesting.
Dice Clay, D. Snyder.
The list is honestly, they have a lot, and it's very impressive. So it's worth it, is my point.
Right.
Very worth it. So do that, and get a discount while you're at it using the promo code Subway.
Get the hook up.
We're sending you out this week. Do you guys remember Sung Beats? He made our intro for us, the beatboxing guy. So I met up with him in the subway this week just to record a couple songs of his. Okay. And guy is really talented. He's actually awesome to watch in real time doing what he does. He's a beatboxer. Remember, there's no instruments involved at all. And he's going to take us out with Eminem's Lose Yourself, but it's his own little remix and spin of it. So it's really cool. And we will see you guys next week. And keep it coming. We love it.
Holla. Yo.
shot, or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment. Would you capture it or let it slip? Yo, it's born for sweaty knees, weak arms are heavy. There's vomit on the sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting, snap back to reality. Oh, the girl's gravity, oh, the girl's gravity. Joke, you're so mad, but he won't give up. Daddy's, he know, he won't have, but he knows his whole back to these roads. It don't matter, he's dope, he knows that, but he's broke. He's so steady, he knows when it goes back to his home for home. That's when it's back to the lab again, yo. His whole rap said he better go capture the moment. I hope it don't. You better lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot from now, miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot from now, miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. And I hear a tongue, cold story ever told. Somewhere far along the road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless. How could you be so heartless? No dignity, no doubts. I like the way you work it.